basically are selfish. They're greedy. They always vote themselves everything that they can possibly get until there's nothing left and everything disintegrates. If you want to sit back and let it happen, well, that's your choice, but I'm not sitting back and letting it happen. I'm just one person just like you. Educate your family, educate your neighbors, educate your community. Take our country back. As a republic, become once again what we were intended to be. Of, for, and by the people means that we have to know everything that's happening in Washington all the time. We are supposed to be the arbiters of our own fate. We must be the watchdogs of our government. We began as sovereign kings in our own right when this country was formed, and the government was our chattel servant. We are quickly becoming the property of the government, which is becoming, once again, the Roman Empire. Now, this will eventually collapse too, but when it collapses, it will collapse into anarchy, and race wars will begin to rage across the landscape, and people will kill you for a can of spinach in your cabinet.
I asked you, should I go buy me a gun and protect myself? And he said no.
No, that's not what I said. I said that you should have those items on hand to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Didn't I?
I should already have that stuff already bought.
That's right. That's why our forefathers gave us the second article and amendment to the Constitution, was so that we could protect ourselves against a government should it become despotic and oppressive. And from
It's coming. I believe it. It's coming.
Yes, it is coming.
Very fast.
The purpose of this program is to wake the sheeple, empower the people, and try to save this nation and thus freedom for the world. You see, if we lose our Constitution and Bill of Rights, freedom will fall everywhere in the world that it exists. This is the only place in the world that has a chance to stave off socialism. Socialism has always destroyed everything that it has ever touched. It takes everything away from you, including your dignity and self-respect. And you reach a state of total dependency, where the government becomes your father and you become a helpless child. And you pretend to work, and they pretend to pay you. Is that what you want?
You have a right to vote, but you are not mandated to vote. You don't have to vote if you don't want to. And not voting is a way of protesting. And if you'll look at how many people in this country have stopped voting, it's got to be the biggest protest in the history of the nation. People are saying, we don't believe in the system anymore. We don't believe you're going to represent us. We don't believe our vote counts. We believe it's a waste of time, and so we're not going to do it. We believe that the outcome is going to be the same whether we go and vote or whether we stay home and don't vote.
Before Trump.
And you know, folks, they're absolutely right when they think that.
Before Trump.
Absolutely correct. Only difference between Gore and G.W. Bush is Gore would have taken us there a lot faster, and Bush is going to slow us down so his buddies in the oil business can make tons of money.
What happened?
Before world socialism takes over.
What's happening?
And if you don't believe, if you think I'm full of it, you know, I've never been wrong about this stuff yet. If you think I'm full of it, just...
Good evening, you're on the air.
Hello, Bill.
Hello.
Yes. I'm good.
Turn off your radio, please.
Doing research and following up on the Masonic aspect of the New World Order. And I agree with you when you say that this country is a Masonic republic, and I understand all of this. What I can understand is, if these people are so after world domination, why would they give us a chance after this great Masonic experiment? Why wouldn't they just have it locked down 100 years ago?
Because it wasn't a chance. It was a sure thing. They, under our forefathers, if you read their writings, they knew more about human nature than any psychologist that lives on the face of the earth today. They knew we would give up our freedoms in exchange for our liberties and preserve the republic. They also gave us everything in the Constitution that we could use to destroy our own selves.
You guys are doing it right now.
They understood that human nature is such that if we can get something for nothing, and if we think it's for nothing, that's the way we're going to go. And that's exactly what has happened.
And so it was just sort of a hollow gesture, because they knew what the outcome would be.
Well, not only wasn't a hollow gesture, they had to establish this country in order to give the common man a taste of freedom for the first time in the history of the world. This has never happened before. It was the catalyst
that toppled the kings and queens from their thrones in Europe. It took away the power that opposed them. Number two, it was to prove to the common man that he could not rule himself. They knew that human nature, common man would through his human nature, his human foibles and failings, give up everything that they had given us, and then that would be the reason quoted to us in the New World Order why we cannot have those liberties or freedoms.
I see. And so actually this was set up as the power transfers was taken away from the old the aristocrats.
That's right, and this country was the instrument which would bring into the world the New World Order, and it was all put into the Great Seal of the United States. If you know how to interpret the symbolism of the mysteries, it's all right there. Who they were, what they were about, and what they intended to bring about is right there in the Great Seal.
I see. Did you know that Albert Pike is buried in the walls of the House of the Temple in Washington, D.C.?
Yes.
Yeah. And also, what is the UN meditation room?
It is a place where those who understand the religion of the New World Order go to meditate and practice through symbology the religion right there in the United Nations.
Okay, Bill. Well, thank you very much, Bill, and be careful.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Alright guys, that was Bill Cooper. Check out his show. He's been dead for a while. He predicted 9/11. He woke me up. That's how long I've been woken. I watched his predictions come true. All of them. You go back in history, you watch Billy Cooper, Signs of the Times. He had a radio talk show. I used to listen to him every week. And he's been 100% right since he even predicted his own death, that he would die on his porch of his own house. And the feds set him up, and he ended up dying on the porch of his house. Study Bill Cooper, William Cooper. Study him. Good man. Now I'm going to read you something from the Constitution. And kind of like what I showed you on the other parts. Krona, crown, the crown, Krona. Okay? That's Europe. That's the New World Order. That's Rome. Our founders were well aware of Rome. They fled the world, remember? They fled Rome and founded America. And the world's been chasing us ever since. But I'm going to read something from our Constitution from Thomas Paine. Since we need to get back into our Constitution, folks. Everybody should have one of these, if not more than one. One in your car, one in your pocket, one wherever you go. And you should be well coerced into knowing this book. But here we go. The rule of law. But where, say some, is the King of America? I'll tell you, friend. He resigns above. And doth not make havoc of mankind. Let it be brought forth, placed on the divine law, the word of God. Let a crown be placed thereon, by which the world may know that in America the law is king. Thomas Paine. Crown. Sound familiar? Krona, crown. Folks, we're in deep shit. If we lose the only thing standing in front of the New World Order, if we lose Trump, you guys are going to watch America fall into chaos to never unite into one body again. And the reason why they want to put us into chaos so that we can't unite Because we used to come into one body, one united body. When the world came after America, America would go into one body. This is every race, creed on our continent would come into one body, a united body, and would kick the world out of America. We've done this so many times in our past. Well, once again, we are to a point where we need to kick the world out of America. They've taken states, okay? They've taken high seats in our law, in our ruling power, okay? They've taken high seats everywhere in America that controls population in America, okay? This is how they do it. They influence, and from the influence, it spreads. This is how they've gotten us so far. That's why these democratic states are so bad. Okay, they've suppressed their people so bad that their own people don't even blame them. They blame the government that's trying to free them right now. Because right now we have the first time in at least our lifetimes, anybody alive right now, the first time in our lifetime that we have our house back. In other words, the New World Order have owned our administrations. They are puppet administrations for the New World Order under Bush, under Obama, under Clinton, okay, under Bush. I can just these are the main ones that you guys really need to understand. Bush, they were all for the New World Order. It was no secret. I could pull up all their New World Order talks, but we've heard them enough, okay? You pull it up if you don't believe me. They are pushing for a New World Order because in this New World Order, it's a one world, a lockstep into total dominance, elite dominance of the masses. This is something that we do not want to happen. Like Bill Cooper said, if we lose America, we're the only thing standing from a one world order. America's the only thing that can stop the one world order. Okay, that means global citizens. That's why Hollywood was pushing global citizens at the beginning of the year. You're global citizens. No, you're an American citizen. And our Constitution tells you how to defeat the New World Order, who have taken these high seats and now control our system against us. And if we wouldn't have had Trump there, okay, if Trump wouldn't have came out of nowhere, if God wouldn't have helped Trump get in, and believe me, that's what power of prayer does. And that's why he says he's the chosen one. Because if you understand what that means, God's using him to save America right now. I could see how he feels. He's the chosen one. And not only that, I could see how he feels very alone fighting the New World Order. He's surrounded by them. They've taken high seats. He's all around them. I mean, Trump has them all around him. Okay? That's what he's been doing. Cutting the heads off these New World Order tyrants. If he doesn't cut the heads, we don't have a chance. We'll be fighting the police all day. That's minions. They just make more minions. More minions and more minions. That'll never stop. Okay, until you cut the heads. And that's why they're so scared of Donald Trump. Because he's taking the power away from them and giving it back to you, the people. This is why he says this stuff. The old snake story. The snake, y'all remember the snake? You let me in. Why'd you let me in? Bites. Okay, what that was about, it wasn't for you, America. It wasn't for you. It was for the New World Order elites. Okay? Trump had to use some of them to get where he's at, too. Remember that. It works both ways. This is a war we're at, people. Trump is well aware of the war. But he cannot come out and say, this is a war on the New World Order. That's why he says this is a war on the invisible enemy. Because they're hiding everywhere, people. This is the New World Order. It's a one world order. They have an oath that they're all under for a one world. They're willing to kill everybody. They want a population of 500 million. 500 million. That's it. 500 million. Okay? There are 8.7 billion people in the world. That means 8.2 billion people gotta go for their mega cities and their mega regions to exist. That's what's been initiated. That's what the kill codes are for. That's what 33 means. It's all out war. Their population, it's war on humanity. They're tricking humanity to go against humanity, to think humanity is the enemy. This is so backwards, you people just, oh man. That's what you people look like, right there. That's what you people look like. They live wearing the mask, running around. Oh, we got one that can see. Me, I can see really good. It's called years and years of study. Okay, now I've tried to get years and years of study out of me to come to you guys, and that's hard. That's why I'm making these little videos and talking to y'all and doing what I'm doing. Because you people need to know what the hell is going on. Because you guys are sitting there blaming Trump. I've heard some of the best conspiracy theorists who have been right by study. They have been right all the way up until they say Trump is the same government. He's not. He's not the same government. That's why he's more like a third party. That's what I am. And that's what our founders wanted. They wanted more than just two parties. Two parties is set up for a civil war, and that's what's happening. That's what they've set us up for. Okay? I am for a third party. That's a constitutional republic, and you should be too. Okay? That's where this Constitution is our law. Law of the land, like what I just read. Rule of law. Okay? From Thomas Paine. Rule of law. Should we read one more? For its first 150 years, with a few exceptions, our Constitution stood as our founders and the people intended, as is, in accordance with the original intent. In other words, it was interpreted rather than... Okay. Alright, I gotta back up. Because that's a lot to read. I started reading the wrong thing. The rule of law, okay? Read in context, the Bill of Rights in both an I'm having troubles. I'm having brain farts because I'm so upset right now. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop with that. I'm gonna stop with this video because I've gotten upset. I'm mad because we are heading to a direction that we shouldn't be. I see so many people who are awake, but they're not quite eyes that see yet, because they see Trump as the same government that was there before. I'm talking about the puppet administrations, the New World Order puppet administrations that were our past administrations. The same ones that were coming after you, the people, you farmers, you ranchers. Okay, the same ones who was coming after us that love our flag, us who were military under a constitutional oath. Okay, they're coming after everybody. They were, until Trump made it. They were, okay, patriots were considered domestic terrorists under Obama. Yeah. Now under Trump, if you're a patriot, guess what? You're no longer a domestic terrorist. You love your president. You love your country. You love your neighbor. Okay, this is how it was intended to be. So, please, people, trust me when I say Trump is not a global elite. He is not a New World Order tyrant. He is not in the club for the last time. He is not in the club. Johnny Cage in a Real Mortal Kombat. A lot more to come. I just can't get it all out. And believe me, I want to. I want to get it all out. But I can't. There's so much. We're just going to have to go through these little videos. So, like and sub. There's so much more to come. This is a Real Mortal Kombat, people.